that pole may be closer than I thought, but in this environment it's not so uncommon, especially with a simulator. Okay, while the title track is running, in this case I'm about to talk about this cover, let me call it this way, because after wandering around on rFactor 2, which is proving to be more and more beautiful, I stumbled into a nice group, racecraft legends, sorry, who invited me to race, and I'm having a lot of fun. More than fun, the beautiful side is the challenging side. As you can see, we are in Spa-Francorchamps, which is the next race I'm gonna participate. I'm trying with a wet environment and some AIs to make some practice, and I'm noticing how absolutely beautiful rFactor 2 is. Notice the droplets, notice the wet blackened tarmac, notice the color of the cloud of spray water behind me. Notice how this car is escaping everywhere in almost all gears, but this is not like in the 50s. This is the, let me say, the worst year ever, maybe in those years. It's 1966. These cars are all Brabhams BT20, but they are customized as for liveries. And as you can see here, it's all, don't ask me how I saved it, don't do it. I used the technique of throttle and brake to straighten the car in the middle of Masta Kink, which is one of the most terrific kinks in the known tracks around the world. These cars still had old technology tires, so more like in the 50s, and a little mistakes brings you very easily to lose the racing line. But with 3 liters engines, so very powerful. It was the first year after a few years in the early 60s of 1.5 liters, which in my humble opinion was better. But of course, with this situation you have to be super careful with everything you do with the 350 horsepower available. But again, here I want to talk about the simulator. Super great feeling. I'm not so professional to say, it's like the real cars. Who gave me to drive a 1966 Formula 1 car after all? But everything you feel through the steering wheel makes a lot of sense. And if communities racing rFactor 2 are growing larger and larger, sometimes even abandoning other well-known simulators, there must be a reason. But in this case, one thing was great in my opinion. Just look at what is going on when after the rain the track is drying. Details such as the droplets on my screen only when the car in front of me raises a cloud of water, the stripes on the drying tarmac where it is still wet, the dried racing line only. And of course I'm not gonna tell you about the differences in the grip feeling, because you can't take them for granted. And while we are heading 295 kilometers per hour again to the terrific Masta Kink, just watch, one pilot got out of the racing line, but he got back. Must be very careful. People at a few meters off on the side of the track. Well, this is a great rebuild of the real look of Spa-Francorchamps in those years. And when someone attacks in the Stavelot corner, of course the epilogue can't be this one only. Okay, this was meant to be just a very quick sample of the beauty of this environment, the beauty of this simulator. I think that even if it is not really photorealistic, I think that the beauty of details and how it feels driving this makes this one of my favorite, of my favorite environments ever. Okay, I hope that I made a good thing pointing out this nice slide with smoking tires. I wish that online communities can grow larger and larger, even on the almost abandoned in the beginning rFactor 2. What else to say? I think that after getting 4 different simulators, sooner or later I'll have to review them and compare them. For now, I wish you are enjoying the beauty of what you're seeing, even if I know that the 60s are not so popular. But what you feel when you start to handle this and you realize how close you are to virtual death all the time long, well, it's an emotion. It's a really challenging feeling. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you on the tracks.